Bonjour. I had to do it in French as I'm sitting here in just beautiful French countryside at the hotel and wanted to just download something that's been coming through me the past couple of days, and it's about, being here. Certainly, like I'm in Burgundy and just experiencing just so much bliss and so much joy and so much gratitude, and sharing, matching your vibration. And it's really so simple when we unpack it, and this is really what I felt called to share. Your range, right? The range that you're willing to go and feeling everything that you're feeling is going to equate to your capacity. The range you're willing to go is the capacity that you get to receive. And when you step into this embodiment, this knowing, it's really seeing you get to drop all the stories of comparison, because there's no person to compare to when you are simply saying, okay, if I want something and it is feeling so good in my soul, then I get to be the vibration of that and match that and call that in. And it's not like I want what that person has, or I'm not good enough unless that person approves of me, or any of this comparison game that we all find ourselves caught up in, because that's what society teaches us. So catching the language, right, that says I want to be over there doing that, but I can't because I'm only here with my limited access to resources, or whatever that story is, limited experience. And it's also not judging it. So can you honor that where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be, and go, okay, I get it. I'm honoring where I am, and there's no judgment and there's no comparison. So, I'm totally open to where else I get to go, where else life is going to initiate me. And you can feel that little cord that's still tied to you from that unconscious commitment that maybe you used to have, that's I should be somewhere else other than here. I'm not good enough here, and when I get there, then I'll have the riches, the happiness, the freedom, the peace. But until then, I have to sacrifice and bust my ass and compare myself. And that energy in and of itself, that vibration is creating, keeping you right where you are, and feeling that cord tying you where you are. And is it just okay for you to be here, right? Is where you are perfect enough? Because in wherever you are, embracing that, and you go, it is okay to be just where I am versus plan it all out. And then when the questions come up of tell me how to get there, how do I be more, how do I get to that place? It is to simply be, right? When you literally sink into that moment of just being, I am doing it right now. And that is the vibration of peace, right? And you find yourself wanting to run from that discomfort of simply being, because it's not something that we're used to. We're used to, again, charting out, darting out into the future, just saying, I actually can even be with the discomfort of that. What is that, right? I'm afraid to be. Interesting. Because I picked up a belief a long time ago that I have to rush and work and fight in order to feel like enough. And there's actually nothing for you to do except receive more. Expect that you are, right? Just receiving more, loving more, living more. Each layer, that is what is available to to love and to lean into. When you just simply be like, and just notice, and you get to close that gap. For me, it was just declaring that I get to go wherever I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want, doing what I feel called to do. And I be that vibration. So before I even started to do this world travel, it was like, I see the vision, right? I see the vision for what I am being called forth to experience. And I hold that, and I am devoted to that. And then there are a couple of connections to manifesting that. I speak to it. I ask for all those ways I can experience it now, no matter what I'm doing. And it's like, oh, okay, well, right now, how can I give myself that freedom? How can I feel as though I can go wherever I want to go, right? That could mean, like, for a while, it was like, let me take a weekend trip. Let me do some research about France. Let me do some research about Africa. Let me do some, research with my daughter about being a global citizen. And that created this vibration of, oh, I am free now. I choose it now. I am embodying it now. It's literally in alignment. And then from there, you stay devoted to that feeling, and you get to literally just simply filter out each thing that pops up in each moment, because it's a moment-to-moment game, asking, is this in alignment to the life that I choose to be experiencing? And you get to call bullshit on yourself, right? In every moment where you're like, oh, I'm seeing, like, okay, this is something that's coming up, right? I can choose to shed and let it go and do the healing work around it, or I can just run from it and go right into the patterns of, like, I'm too busy to deal with this, and I can't right now, and I've got all these things to tend to, and I've got to compare myself. Or you just get to be. You get to have a question. You get to have a conversation with yourself, right? How am I being what I declare to be right now? That's the biggest gap in manifestation, right? That people, they're always visualizing the vision out in the future. I want to be all these things. I want to have that life. I want to have that freedom. I want to have those finances. I want to have that body. Instead of being it right now. Vibration can only match vibration. That's a simple law of energy. If you want to travel, then you get to be the vibration of travel. Right? If you want to have this level of freedom, how do you give yourself that right now? Right now, in this moment. Right? You can literally give yourself that feeling of freedom with anything that you choose to do. And there is always going to be a vibrational match. So you're just filtering in, like, oh, what am I experiencing right now? Is it a vibrational match for what I say I'm feeling called forth and want to be experiencing? You want to feel freedom? It's not something you compare yourself to and chase out in the future and hold it there. You're like, how can I feel free right now? What are some of those sensations in my body? How do I embody that? And then how do I take an aligned action to be that? That's it. That's what I wanted to share. So much love. From France. I embodied it, I embody it, and it's my reality. But long before I even got here, I was living in that place of freedom. So much love.